The Buu saga represents the peak of despair in Dragon Ball Z. As the threat of Majin Buu evolved from the chaotic Fat Buu into the lethal and refined Super Buu, the stakes reached a cosmic level. One of the most significant what-if scenarios in the entire franchise centers on the moment when Goku returned to Earth with the Potara earrings. If Gohan had managed to catch the earring, the resulting warrior, often called Gokan or Kuhan by fans, would have been the most powerful entity in the entire original manga continuity. To understand the magnitude of this missed opportunity, we must examine the sequence of events that led to the moment when Gohan dropped the earring, as well as the mechanical implications of the Potara fusion, as explained by the Elder Kai. The conflict was reaching its climax while Goku was still in the other world. Watching through the Elder Kai's crystal ball, Goku witnessed the incredible progress of Goten and Trunks. He was genuinely surprised that two children, who individually could only reach Super Saiyan, were able to achieve Super Saiyan 3 through the fusion dance. This established a precedent. Fusion does not merely add power, it multiplies it exponentially and unlocks levels of strength that the individual components cannot reach on their own. However, Gotenks' arrogance and the expiration of his fusion time left Earth vulnerable. This paved the way for Mystic Gohan. After hours of having his latent potential unlocked by the Elder Kai, Gohan arrived on Earth with a power level that surpassed Goku's Super Saiyan 3. He overwhelmed Super Buu so effortlessly that the creature was forced to resort to a desperate self-destruction in order to buy time. The tide turned when Super Buu absorbed Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks and Piccolo. This new form, Butenks, possessed not only greater raw power than Gohan, but also Piccolo's strategic genius. Gohan, once the hunter, became the prey. It was this shift that led the Elder Kai to give his life to Goku and hand him the Potara earrings. The Elder Kai was explicit about the properties of the Potara earrings. Unlike the Metamaran fusion, which requires equal power levels and a specific ritual, Potara fusion is one, permanent. At the time, it was believed to be a lifelong union, although this was later retconned for mortals in Dragon Ball Super. Within the context of the Z-era manga, it was absolute. 2. Multiplicative. It combines the powers of both users and magnifies them significantly. 3. Effortless. It does not require the users to transform into Super Saiyans beforehand. In fact, the Elder Kai advised against fusing while transformed into Super Saiyans, as the strain on the body would be too great and could shorten one's lifespan. The Elder Kai's assessment was clear. A fusion between Goku and Gohan would produce a warrior so dominant that there would be no need for Super Saiyan transformations. Given that Gohan's mystic state already granted him access to his full power without the drawbacks of transformation, the resulting fusion would inherently possess that same efficiency. When Goku arrived on the battlefield, he immediately demonstrated his veteran combat instincts by slicing Super Buu in half with a Kienzan. This moment of intervention should have been the prelude to the end of the saga. Goku tossed the earring to Gohan, but in an unusually clumsy moment, Gohan failed to catch it. This forced Goku into a stalling action. He transformed into Super Saiyan 3 to hold off Butenks, a feat that pushed his living body to its absolute limits. During this fight, Gotenks' fusion ended inside Buu, causing him to regress into Buukolo, the form in which Piccolo is the dominant influence. At that point, Goku's confidence returned. He noticed that Buu's power had dropped to nearly a third of what it had been, and realized that he and Gohan could now defeat the monster easily without even needing to fuse. However, Super Buu's cunning was his greatest weapon. Using a piece of his body that had been cut off earlier, he caught Gohan off guard and absorbed him. This was the ultimate disaster. Earth's strongest hero was now part of the villain. To understand how strong Gohan would have been, we need to look at the power scale established in the manga. Mystic Gohan, stronger than Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Super Buu, with Gohan absorbed. The strongest version of Buu, capable of tearing holes in the dimensional walls with nothing but the power of his voice. Vegito, the fusion of Goku and Vegeta. When Goku eventually fused with Vegeta to become Vegito, they were able to toy with Super Buu. Vegito, even in his base form, was already a match for the creature, and as a Super Saiyan, he was untouchable. Now consider the math of a Goku-Gohan fusion. Vegeta, at the time of the Buu saga, was significantly weaker than Gohan. Gohan had his potential fully unlocked, placing him far beyond the level of a Super Saiyan 3. If a fusion with a weaker partner resulted in a warrior who could humiliate Buu, a fusion with Gohan would have been exponentially more powerful. The Elder Kai's statement that they wouldn't even need to transform was likely an understatement. A Goku-Gohan fusion in base form would probably possess a power level superior to Super Saiyan 3 Vegito. It would have been a warrior with Goku's combat genius and Gohan's seemingly limitless reservoir of raw energy. Had the fusion occurred, the fight would have ended instantly. Unlike Vegito, who intentionally allowed himself to be absorbed in order to rescue his sons, and Piccolo, a Goku-Gohan fusion could have been far more direct. However, the narrative required the moment of the lost earring to allow Vegeta's return, completing his character arc and leading to the birth of Vegito, the fans' favorite fusion. The tragedy of the lost earring is that it represented Gohan's final moment of true relevance in the battles of Dragon Ball Z. Once absorbed, he became a battery for the enemy, and the responsibility of saving the universe returned to the older generation, Goku and Vegeta. The arrival of the resurrected Vegeta was an intervention at a moment of desperation. When Vegeta first appeared, his pride was still his defining trait. He refused to fuse with Goku, even after witnessing the terrifying power of Super Buu. It was only when Goku revealed what was truly at stake, that Buu had killed Bulma and their children, that Vegeta finally relented. The resulting Vegito was a proud and petulant warrior, reflecting the rivalry between Goku and Vegeta. A Goku-Gohan fusion would likely have been far more humble and focused. While Vegito spent much of his fight taunting Buu to lure him into using absorption as a tactic, a Goku-Gohan fusion could have ended the threat with a single overwhelming attack, since Gohan's mystic personality was far more pragmatic than his younger, more arrogant self. If Goku and Gohan had fused, the post-war period would have been complicated. At that time, the Potara were considered permanent. Earth would have lost two of its greatest heroes to gain a single invincible protector. Family dynamics. Chi-Chi would have been the wife and mother of a single being. Training. There would be no one left in the universe capable of offering a challenge to this new warrior. The future. The threat of Kid Buu would never have materialized, as the fusion would have destroyed Super Buu before he could regress or transform. The what-if of a Goku-Gohan fusion remains one of the most debated topics among fans because it represents the series' ultimate maximum power scenario. According to the internal logic provided by the Elder Kai and the evidence of Gohan's superiority over Vegeta at the time, this hypothetical warrior would undoubtedly be the strongest character that could have existed in the original execution of the series. To summarize the chain of events presented in the origin story, Goku recognizes the efficiency of fusion through Gotenks. Gohan is overwhelmed after Buu absorbs Gotenks and Piccolo. The Elder Kai hands over the Potara and his life, insisting that fusion is the only path forward and that transformations would not be necessary. Goku arrives, throws the earring, but Gohan fails to catch it, leading to his eventual absorption. With Gohan out of the picture, Goku is forced to turn to Vegeta, resulting in the birth of Vegito. The story of Dragon Ball Z is defined by these razor-thin margins. A single successful catch of the earring would have changed the history of the universe. Instead, Gohan's mistake led to the most desperate battle in the series' history, one that concluded not with a Potara fusion, but with the combined energy of all humanity in a spirit bomb. Although the Goku-Gohan fusion never walked the Earth, the information provided by both the manga and the anime leaves no doubt. It would have been a god among mortals, an effortless end to the terror of Majin Buu, and a testament to the combined potential of the Sun family. Well, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future content. See you next time!